What's going on, chat? Welcome back to Dudes Talk Sports, bringing you an in-week video. I know, very unusual, but there's a lot that's going on that we felt that we need to make a video during the week, talking about all the action going on in the play-in. But before we dive into things, if you guys like our content, be sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video with your aunties, cousins, pet goldfish, turtles, chinchillas, monkeys, whatever you have as a pet, man. Once
Your
again,
auntie's aunts, your cousins, third cousin-in-law, father, lawyers, auntie. Shout out to them.
that's right. Once again, I'm your co-host DJ, and to my right is my co-host CJ. Once again, bringing you back with another banger. And honestly, why should we sugarcoat this? This motherfucker feeling himself this morning. He woke up feeling
I woke up.
dangerous.
I woke up jerking. I mean, beef
What?
jerky.
Huh? All right. All right. Oh, dude, laughing is just tough because my rib cage is just hurting, man. Everything hurts. Oh well, it is what it is. But all right, folks, let's dive back right into the NBA action now. And
It's a
boy,
USB.
what's that?
It's not a. It's not a pen. It's nothing. It's just a USB.
What do you have in there? A bunch of porn?
No, it's for my headset. Not sponsored, so I'm gonna cover it.
Oh, that's the wireless adapter?
Yeah. The dongle.
Yeah, I don't
All right.
like dongles. Fuck, my Turtle Beach had that and it broke. Like, well, what can you do? But
Then
going back on track, y'all. We got to break down this Magic versus Hawks recap, man. Listen, the Orlando Magic absolutely ran through the Atlanta Hawks out of the gym, 120 to 95 in the Eastern Conference play-in tournament on April 15th, 2025. That was yesterday. And this one had everything. Big performances, some serious drama, and huge stakes for both teams. Let's break down the box score, the fireworks on the court, any injury updates, and what this means for the Magic and Hawks moving forward. So grab a seat, folks. This is going to be a fun one. First, let's break down some box score stats. And let's kick it off with the numbers, because Orlando was straight up dominant. Cole Anthony was the star of the show off the bench, dropping 26 points and dishing 6 assists like it was nothing. Dude was hitting from everywhere.
Mhm.
Jumpers,
Mhm.
floaters, you name it. Paulo
Mhm.
Banchero and Franz Wagner were smooth as always, with Banchero getting his. It's Banchero, right?
Bancaro, yeah, Bancaro was cooking,
He
but
was.
like it wasn't too much when he scored crazy amount, but he definitely contributed to their win
Yes, sir.
in a
And
good
with
way.
Banchero getting his buckets efficiently and Wagner setting up plays like a floor general, Wendell Carter Jr. owned the paint and throwing down 17 points with layups, dunks, and even a couple of mid range shots. The Magic were on fire early, shooting a ridiculous 57.5% effective field goal percentage in the first quarter, and they kept it clean with just 3 turnovers early. That's the kind of ball that gets you hyped. Atlanta, though, it was a struggle. Trae Young, who is probably with an Achilles issue, tried to keep them afloat, but Orlando's defense, best in the league, giving up just 105.5 points per game, had him in a chokehold. The Hawks, who usually light it up with their top 5 offense at the crushed up on the boards too, with just 3 offensive rebounds on 14 chances early. Nobody could get it going, and it showed on the loop side it scored.
I mean, Trae Young did all he could. It, their offense wasn't really clicking. Not really much that you could do in when your offense not really working as it used to. Like
Doesn't
in a
help when you
play in, during a play in, gonna hurt you. Definitely gonna hurt you.
Doesn't help when you get ejected like Trey did. Which, speaking about that,
Uh,
let's get to the juicy stuff, y'all. Because this game has some heat. The big moment everyone's talking about was Trey Young getting tossed in the third quarter. So picture this, right? Trey's
it was
already frustrated. The Hawks are down. What's up?
third, fourth quarter. No, it was
It
fourth
was.
quarter.
I think it was like the third or the fourth. It might have been
I
like
think it was like
beginning
fourth.
fourth,
I think it's fourth quarter with like 3-4 minutes remaining.
something
He gets
like that.
ejected.
It
He
don't
gets
matter
ejected like.
because at the end of the day, his presence was really not felt, man.
I mean, he was the top scorer, but that was pretty much it.
I mean, with the way the Magic was scoring and dominating the court, man, sometimes even
Yeah.
being a top scorer in your team just isn't enough, especially when you're down that much. And for
I
somebody
mean,
like Trey, man, talks are down
no
big,
one really, no one really was clicking.
gets
It was
called for a
big for him.
questionable foul. I mean, he starts jawing at the ref, gets a tech, and then keeps going. And then before you know it, I mean, he's straight up trying to chuck the ball at the ref, bro.
Yeah, he threw the ball at the ref that got him a T1, like a attack, not like to get thrown out,
No,
but
just a tech.
he
Yeah.
gets a just a tag, and then he trolls the ref by stealing the ball from him and walking away with the ball. A little childish. You could say he's trolling, but I feel like that's a little childish.
Especially when your team is like fighting for a spot in the playoffs. It's just not the kind of look you want on your team, especially being the lead scorer and pretty much being the guy after getting rid of DeJounte, you know?
Eh,
Like that's just what I'm just saying, man. Like it's just not a good look.
It
It's
really isn't.
nice little highlight reel moment when Muhammad, I don't even know how the fuck to say that, bro.
Which one?
Muhammad, I
Oh,
think it's Muhammad Gay. Is it Muhammad
oh,
Gay?
gay. Gay. It's gay. Yeah, just
Okay,
Muhammad Gay.
just making sure, because you know they these names, bro. Only in America it'll be spelled like. Well, that might not even be an American name. I think that's just
I don't wanna be an
translation
American.
from different cultures, different customs. Pronunciations is difficult, y'all, because sometimes it feels like you're reading the scribes of like the ancients. But it's all good, man. We'll keep getting better at this. And honestly, going back to that Trey ejection, a lot of tension there in that Hawks game. Not really so much on the Magic side. I mean, Magic was cooking, bro. Like, completely blew away my expectations from top to bottom. And especially with some of the injuries the Magic were dealing really early on in the season. And I mean, both sides were dealing with injuries. I mean, that's kind of just the nature of the game, especially coming in, playoff time. You know, you got guys banged up, and it's just a matter of who has the more grit, who wants it more. And, you know, in terms of injuries for both teams, I mean, for the Hawks, Clint Capella was already out with a ligament injury in his left hand from late March. And the real evaluation is still pending. And, I mean, that honestly, you could see that cost during their rim protection big time. Trey Young was battling with an Achilles tweak, and he played obviously till the ejection. It's just Trey wasn't really Trey if we're keeping it a buck, you know. And Magic were just in better shape overall. Obviously, Franz Wagner and Wendell Carter Jr. had missed a game against the Pacers all the way back to from April 11th with knee and hip issues, but both were back and they honestly looked solid that game.
No, Wendell Carter was. He definitely had a big impact in that game. His defense was great. His offense, they got him to his spots. Couple, I think he had a putback too. Nice putback. I
Yeah,
mean, the box score shows it doesn't show everything, but like the defense and all that. But I think he played pretty good.
I think
I mean, the plus minus kind of shows it too. Plus minus of 28.
yeah. And Atlanta had its own issues too. I think we kind of touched upon it. But when you got guys like what's it called? Kobe Buffkin with shoulder surgery and Jalen Johnson out for the year with the torn labrum. That's obviously going to be huge blows to your team. But kind of the thing goes, you know, next man up mentality. So, if anything, it just shows maybe the lack of depth on their roster as well as just not so great team chemistry, man.
I mean, Anthony Black, Cole Anthony, they did their shit off the bench.
Absolutely,
Plus
man.
minus of 30 plus, I think. Both of them had 30 plus minuses.
100%, bro. It's like I gotta give my hats off to Magic because I had the Hawks winning this game in my predictions. If you guys didn't watch that, you guys can obviously click in the card up that's gonna pop up for y'all. Go watch that video, go see my predictions. And honestly, let's get into sort of the big picture implications here, shall we? Because for the Magic, this 120 to 95 route locks them in as the number 7th seed in the East, setting up a first round clash with the number 2 Celtics. And that's a heavyweight fight, no doubt. Boston's a machine, but Orlando is all right. Hold on. Wait, did I kick him from the server?
You might have.
Oh fuck! I was just trying to disconnect them. I accidentally kicked them.
Mm.
Whoops.
Oh,
Well,
it's okay. Just invite him back or something. Nah, fucking no.
you can text him, bro, if you want. I can't move from my screen because I have the Discord overlay. Just be like, oh, we didn't mean to kick you out the server. We just want to disconnect you from the VC. But, anyways, that was our ex co-host there. I'll just leave it at that. But going back to these playoff implications, man, when you're going up against the heavyweight, you know what I'm saying, Boston Celtics, it's gonna be quite of a fight. But Orlando does have a 96 to 76 win over them from April 9th. And with the league's best defense and young stars like Banchero and Wagner stepping up, plus Cole Anthony, bailing off the bench, they could make some noise. And this season's been a step forward for Orlando, winning the Southeast Division and making the playoffs 2 years running shows they're legit. In the offseason, expect them to hunt for depth to keep building around this core. For Atlanta, this loss drops them into a must-win play-in game against the Bulls Heat winner for the number 8 seed. The Hawks have a 3-1 play-in record historically, so they do have some fight in them. But with all those injuries and Trey's ejection showing their frustration, it's looking tough if I'm just gonna be honest. And if they lose, they're staring at an early offseason, and that's where the real questions start. With key guys like Capella, Nance, and Johnson sideline, and Trey Young's name always in the trade rumors, the Hawks might be headed for a shakeup. There's already chatter about big moves, with Shams been dropping hints and names like KD being in the play league wide, and Atlanta could be in those talks if they crash out, which this game was a wake up call for them, and their next one's going to be a battle. And that's kind of the deal right now. Orlando's dancing into the playoffs with a statement win, while Atlanta's got to regroup fast or start planning for the summer. Man, this game had it all. Cole Anthony going off, Trey Young getting the boot, and some serious playoff stakes. CJ, I gotta ask you, what's your take on the? I mean, we kind of got into it already, just based on the Trey Young's ejection. But do you think this was just a heat of the moment thing, or do you think this is something deeper that we should look into?
Not really. I just feel like Trae Young just gotta keep composure. He's not. I mean, you could tell he was getting like a little frustrated with some of the calls, and I think that just kind of just got to his head, and he was kind of just fed up with it. So I mean, it all comes down to you know being professional, basketball,
Right.
like
Yeah.
keeping level headed, and you know not giving a fuck about the calls or playing and shit like that. Uh, but
Not a lot of
sometimes
leadership in that team.
he just got frustrated. That's all I could really say. Um, I think they was just frustrated with team performance, and I think I got to do a little bit with team performance and roughing.
Got you. So I guess like, what do you think they need to like fix or change heading into the next matchup?
Uh,
It's the first thing that comes
they
to
just got
mind.
a lot. It's not really. I mean, it's clearly obvious. They gotta start hitting shots. They gotta start hitting shots.
Right.
perform. I mean, shooting 30%, 38%, below 40 as a team
Yeah.
is very, very, that's very scary. Like in a bad way. Like you guys are not already not performing. Like that's bad. It's just bad. I mean, they almost made a comeback, and then the Magic just started popping off.
Yeah,
It
100%.
it's kind of hard. I think they made it within. They almost came back from 20 points because I remember they were like up like 20 points at some point. The Magic like at half or some shit like that,
Yeah, I feel that.
and then they cut the lead down to like 9 or something at half, and then uh, they kept it close throughout the third, and then I think the fourth quarter is where it really really fell apart. Uh, it kind of just showed, you know, what team was more prepared per se, and
Sure.
which team was able to carry out during crunch time and when it really mattered.
Yeah, that's true, man. I think my takeaway is like Atlanta's just beating themselves up too much, and they just gotta stop getting into their own head. Kind of like you were saying, making the shots, locking in. Obviously, I think Trey Young will learn from this. Maybe, hopefully, realize like, hey, I can't be, doing all this shit when my team needs me. Especially after that abysmal performance. Uh, you need Trey Young there, and you need him to play at his best. And so that's what I have to say for Atlanta. And then quickly kind of previewing the Magic and Celtics matchup. I think
Good luck.
Orlando. Listen, I think Boston's gonna win it, but I do see like I would have said before, like, oh, it's gonna be 4-0 sweep, but I think the Magic will get a game in there.
You think they could get one? I
I
think they could probably they could get one. Getting two is definitely where it's like, hmm,
It's definitely
can they
tough,
get
but
two?
I think after seeing this game, I have I have like more optimism that that series could go into a game 6, But
Yeah.
I still think the Celtics are gonna, win that series. But yeah, I think that's wrapping up the Magic and Hawks game. And let's pivot over to this Golden State and Grizzlies recap. You know what I'm saying? Cuz this is where the real magic was. Anybody, if you guys watched both games, everybody knows this was the one. This was the game to tune in and watch. And you already know I'm gonna be tapped in with my Warriors all the time. You know what I'm saying? But listen, guys, this one, the best way to put it was just a nail biter. Obviously, Warriors got the home game here. Had all these like seating like companies and stuff reach out trying to get me to buy tickets and whatnot. It was tempting. I'm like, but nah, man. I was cool watching it from the comfort of my crib, and I don't regret it because this was a duel, man. 121 to 116. And let's break down the box score, drama, everything, and obviously the implications of what this means for both teams. And starting off with the numbers, this was pretty much a high octane showdown. For the Warriors, Jimmy Buckets was straight up clutch, dropping 38 points, grabbing 7 boards, and dishing 6 assists. Bro was everywhere. 12 for 20 from the field, 12 of 18 from the free throw line, just taking over. And Steph Curry wasn't far behind, pouring in 37 points, including a baseline three with 1 minute and 50 left, and another from the wing at the 1 minute mark. Plus, 4 free throws to seal it in the final 5 seconds. Draymond Green also chipped in a double double with 13 points, 10 assists, though he fouled out late. The Warriors attacked early, building a 51 to 35 lead in the second quarter, thanks to Butler's 16 points and some swarming defense that forced 5 Memphis turnovers early. Memphis, though, fought back hard. Desmond Bain, fucking Desmond Bain, bro. led the way with 30 points on 11 for 21 shooting, including 5 of 8 from the deep. John Morant had 22 points and some highlight reel plays, but you could tell he was slowed a bit. More on that later. Jaren Jackson Jr. added 18 points, and rookie Zach Edey was a beast on the glass with 14 points and 17 rebounds, including two clutch free throws with 14.3 seconds left, with also just zero defense too. We gotta add that. Very important, bro. No defense. And shoot, where was I, man? Grizzlies clawed back from a 20-point deficit to take 96 to 94 lead in the fourth, but listen, when you got Jimmy Buckets and Steph Curry, all they need is a shot. All they need is a chance. And they're gonna make it happen. You feel me, CJ?
I mean, I just feel like the Warriors small ball lineup kind of just killed their the Grizzlies defense. 'Cause, I
Oh,
mean, if you saw what they were running, yes, Zach Edey was able to get a lot of rebounds this game, giving them like a couple second chance points maybe. Um, it's just the when you have a lot of shooting per se, I'm not some of these people are not the best shooters, like Draymond and Jimmy Butler. They're not. They have a shot, but they're not really known for it.
yeah.
But when you give a couple shots, and when they start knocking them down and they start becoming a threat, you kind of have to come out.
Right.
You kind of have to come out, which was Zach Edey being a fucking giant. He's not going to be as agile as maybe like Wemby, because Wemby's like he actually like prepared for that shit, you know. But yeah, Zach Edey was not coming out of the paint as much as maybe the Grizzlies liked. Maybe that was their game plan. Cut down from the paint and forced him to shoot. I don't know what the game plan was actually. So
Yeah, because I mean I'm with you because there was like a lot of like exchanges, different momentums. Both teams I feel like we're exchanging back momentums early. So there was a point in time where I thought, the Grizzlies might genuinely like be able to top us. And
at the start was very scary. At the first quarter was very scary, especially those first like three shot. You see like Jaren Jackson's first three, like two, three fall down, and then you see his second three fall down. You're like, oh shit,
yeah,
he might go off like today because those first two threes were just they just went in. I was like, what the fuck?
I feel like they were tone
What the?
setters almost. Like they could have
They
genuinely been
they
the tone setter.
yeah, and then I don't know what happened later on. Jared Jackson just he couldn't keep
Yeah.
that momentum rolling. He hit
Yeah.
the first two threes, and then he hit two more later on, but like he struggled a little bit in offense. Going 6 for 15 was crazy.
Right. No, that's true. And honestly, we should dive into more of that because kind of like you were saying, there's a lot of exchanges back and forth. So let's kind of dive deep into it, right? Listen, early on, kind of like I was saying, the Warriors did come out hot, jumping to an 11-2 lead. But this was before Memphis responded with an 18-5 run, fueled by Draymond Green drawing an offensive foul on Edie and splashing a trail three. And Chase Center was rocking as Golden State built a 51-35 lead, with Butler hitting threes, Moses Moody throwing down a one-handed slam in transition. But the Grizzlies didn't fold. Midway through the third, John Morant went down hard after rolling his right ankle, stepping on Buddy Hield's foot during a drive.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
that was
honest,
scary.
I don't. I was looking at the replay. I don't know if he stepped on anything. I think the injury was like that was just on Jaw tweaked it on his own. He just landed
Think so?
awkwardly. Yeah, because if they show, because I know like when what they played it in the game, right, and they were saying like, oh, he might have stepped on Buddy Healed, but the actual foot that he stepped like it touched the ground. He had both feet on the ground, so it was just a
I
matter of
mean,
Jaw like landing awkwardly on it, which you hate to see it.
it's just scary just seeing someone of his caliber just go down. It's just scary.
I think this goes
I mean,
back to sort of like a critique on Jaw's like play style because that's the thing is he plays a physical like he plays with physicality, you know? He's gonna get physical. He's gonna dive in head first to whatever
oh,
he's
yeah.
gonna do, you know, just to get that shot. That's just sort of the John Morant play style. And I
Yeah.
think this is where he gets sort of the knack of like, you know, can he when it comes down to like the big games when it matters most, is he gonna show up? Because obviously
I
those
mean,
injuries are going to be lingering, you know?
he played pretty well this game.
Oh, 100% he did. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. Did you see that little backhander that he did? Like he threw on the backcourt the ball
Oh,
to himself.
off the backboard to himself for that.
Ye-
Dude, I saw that shit. I was like, bro, what is he on? What the fuck was he on? He really was trying to win that game though. He
Yeah.
really was.
Dude just took it upon himself and he said, "All right, it's time to play hero ball," which they did needed, man. You know,
Yeah.
so,
Well,
especially in the fourth,
uh,
surging.
so Desmond Bain and him were they crazy. They crazy.
Dude, Desmond Bain just came out of nowhere, bro.
He crazy, dog. Like I saw that shit. I was like, dude, what the fuck is he on to? He
I
was
was
hitting
like,
shots and I was like, brother, what the fuck?
dude, throughout the whole game, dude was just shooting threes and hitting buckets. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy? Like, yo, where did he
Hey,
come from, you know?
hey,
Which,
don't sleep on T-Rex arms.
honestly, you can't, bro. He shows up during the playoffs. I don't know, isn't there like a stat there, like, saying, like, he's always shown up for, like, the playoffs? Or come, like,
Some shit like
playoffs
that.
time? So,
Oh, some shit like that. Yeah.
honestly, you gotta give your hats off to Desmond Bain, bro, because he showed up when his team needed him. And that genuinely surprised me. I mean, especially with Ja, you know, being out for like the
I
last couple of
mean,
minutes of the game.
yeah.
If they're gonna need him, if they're gonna want a chance at securing the eighth seed,
Let's just say they're not fine in the West.
they are not finding the West indeed.
They are struggling to keep a playoff spot right now.
With Ja Morant leading the
Which
troops.
I think if Dallas wins this, I think it's definitely going to be a battle between the Grizzlies and Dallas. If Dallas wins this matchup against Zach,
That is true.
just because when you got like people like I mean, you're going up against AD
Yeah,
and I mean AD is still he's still a good player. You know, it's not like a franchise player like that you think of like you trade away a franchise player like Luca, but AD will show up. He will play big games. I'm not trying to discredit like what he can do, but or like shy it down. But like he will bring. I mean the stats show it. The record shows when he plays, they can win. So
that's really what it comes down to. Shout out Steph playing through injuries. Obviously, that right thumb was obviously going to be a big question, and I know he's dealing with like some like pelvic injury, like he has to wear like protective gear. So I'm just like, bro, Steph going through it, and Jimmy buckets playing through that tender left quad after taking that knee from Kawhi during the Clippers matchup, and then Draymond, obviously he had to go to the locker room after colliding with Powell, but being good to go. And Moses Moody was really the only questionable guy heading into this game, and I'm just so glad that he was cleared to go because, man, Moses Moody's presence has shown time and time again. Like, just keep him in the starting lineup at this point. And I hate to say
I
this,
mean, we had a couple of people who struggled this game, and it did not look pretty for a couple of guys on the court.
nah, man, that's Moses Moody on lockdown clamps, bro. And I feel for like, Kaminga, because obviously with Moses get like Moody getting more playing time, Kaminga's gonna take a back end. But
Oh,
it's
he
just
didn't
one of
even play this game.
nah, not at all. I mean, they had GUI come in before Kaminga, and like that doesn't happen just from watching
Yeah,
the team from afar. But
Gooey Santos, Gooey
Gooey
Santos.
Santos, man, Gooey Santos.
Gibby.
which
They had him. Yeah, he had an and one play. I saw that, but I think that's
he didn't
pretty
do
much it.
bad, man. I mean, he contributed when he could. I definitely felt like I saw the impact. And it sucks for a guy like Kaminga, what that does to his mental, but it's just one of those things like I don't know necessarily at this point if this team can be for Kaminga, just because he's just so limited, right, with his play style. He
I
plays a
mean,
certain play
yeah, next
style.
year.
Ah,
Yeah, next year because we're not. Jimmy Butler's on his 1 year. We're not really sure where he's gonna go.
no. We signed a contract extension. He's with us.
Is it?
Yeah, when we traded for him, we extended him.
I don't remember this. I just remember he had 1 year left.
Yeah. That was why the teams were holding up because if you were going to trade for Jimmy, you had to give him a contract extension, which we did. So him and Steph pretty much have the same years left, is from what I know.
Oh yeah, he got a two. Yeah, it goes to 2027.
Yeah, him and Steph's contract expire around the same time.
See, see, see.
That's why like in terms of like the Warriors fan base, it's so like emphasis on like winning now because I think it seems pretty evident we're going on the win now mode, and pretty much when this current roster's contract is up, like we're probably gonna move on, which sort of like increases the urgency to win now and get that shit. Like Jimmy said,
Yeah.
Steph need one more. He got to get his fifth one, and Jimmy needs one too. And so, honestly, kind of moving on, we need to talk about these playoff implications, bro, because obviously, with this win, the Warriors are the seventh seed in the West, gonna face the number two Rockets on Sunday, 4:20 at I believe like 6, 7 Pacific Standard Time. I think it's 6 Pacific Standard Time, especially on a
Wait for
Sunday.
what?
For the Warriors' next matchup against the Rockets,
Ah,
they play
yes.
them. They play them on Sunday, which in
Uh,
hindsight isn't terrible because in the long run, that loss to the Clippers only meant that the Warriors lost. At least this is what I'm getting on from Twitter, right? Some fans are trying to justify.
but they're playing on Saturday.
No, they play on Sunday.
Saturday.
The Warriors play on Sunday against the
They
Rockets.
play on Saturday,
They play on
the
April 20.
26th.
They
Oh
play on
wait,
the
this is
20th.
oh this is Saturday. This is Saturday.
You slow, bruh?
Okay, April Sunday. Wait, what?
It's April
They
20th.
play on.
It's April
Oh, okay,
20th.
I was looking at the 26th.
I was about to say, bruh.
Okay,
I was about
I'm
to
looking at the
bet and
26th.
win me some easy money.
They play on Sunday
Yes, sir.
at
Listen,
the
y'all.
Rockets home court.
I do my due diligence, y'all. I'll do my research way beforehand. I stand on business always.
They play against the Rockets at home court. 6:30 p.
Wait, they
which is
play them at
Pacific
home?
Standard Time.
The first
I
two?
said the Rockets at home. They play at the home court.
They play
Not
in
the Rockets.
Houston.
Not no. They yeah. That's what I'm saying. The Rockets home
Okay.
court.
Oh, okay. I
All
was like,
right. The way it worded it made it sound okay.
that's
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 the
what
way it
that's what I'm
sounded.
saying. Like the wording was kind
The
of
Warriors
off.
play the Rockets at the home court at their home court.
They play at the Rockets in
They're playing at the
Houston.
Rockets. Yeah, at
All right,
the
boys.
Rockets
I'm
home
gonna
court.
explain it to y'all like you some 3-year-olds. Golden State is gonna play in Houston.
Visiting. They're gonna play in Texas.
They are the visitors. Yes, sir. We got y'all, man. We got y'all. Sometimes AI ain't always good for wording stuff, but that's why we here, man. That's why humans exist. But going back to that, I really like this matchup. And going back to the speculation on Twitter, they were saying that in the long run this might work because some fans prefer matching up with the Rockets than with the Lakers. I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like
I agree with that. I feel like you guys definitely dodged a bullet not playing against either the Thunder or the Lakers for sure.
I think
Because I think it just because the Rockets they don't really have that much playoff experience. I mean, you're looking at their starting lineup. You got Sangoon, what is it, Amir Thompson and Jalen Green with no experience.
yeah.
you got. I mean, you got Dylan Brooks, but like
It's China Brooks, bro. No playoff
it.
experience, man.
I mean, it's Dylan. I'm not saying Dylan Brooks is bad.
No, I mean
I
those
mean,
previous encounters tell you everything you need to know in terms
yeah.
of how good
I
the
mean,
player.
they got they got two people with playoff experience. One of them is a champion.
Yeah,
Uh, but is it enough for the Rockets? And only time will tell.
yeah. But kind of going back to that, right? I think now I'm starting to see it, like kind of what you mentioned, the lack of playoff experience. I feel like definitely gives us an edge versus some going against somebody like the Lakers for sure, and OKC. But
They're just OKC just being a good team. It's
yeah,
yeah.
I think that's just what that comes down to. Going back to that, with the way Steph is playing, and with playoff Jimmy here, I like my odds against the Rockets. And I did see a stat. Steph is 4-0 against the Rockets in the playoffs.
Indeed, he is.
And so, given that, as long
This
as
is a this is a new Rockets team compared to when he did play them.
yeah, 100%. But
So
I just still like the odds against us because we have a lot of players stepping up. I think one of the biggest things that we need to stop doing is just don't give Buddy Hield the ball, like at all costs. Like
I mean,
just
he's a
treat
good
him.
3-point shooter.
No,
Maybe on the catch and shoot. Maybe
no.
catch and shoot. I mean, he's a good 3-point shooter. He is a good 3-point shooter.
Have you seen these games?
I mean,
Have you been
he's a three.
actually?
I mean, have you seen his career?
Yes, I've seen his career,
Have you seen his
but I'm
career?
just talking about
Three
this
point the
time.
3-point champion.
No, I know,
I'm
I
just
know,
saying. I'm just saying.
but
I
have you
mean,
seen? But it doesn't matter what he did in the past. What are you doing right now during his stint on the Warriors? And the thing is, outside
he is
of
a.
the beginning of
You
the
could give him
season,
the. You could give him the ball for a three. It's not.
oh no,
It's
they
not
did.
bad.
They tried plenty of times to give him that shot, and he was just shooting bricks,
Hey,
bro.
all I gotta say, how many points did he score against the Rockets last time? Who was their leading scorer against the Rockets last time?
Kaminga,
Now you tell
baby,
me that, Elvis.
Kaminga,
Tell me that.
Kaminga,
Tell me that. Hell no,
Kaminga.
it wasn't. Go search it
Kaminga.
up. Go search it up.
Kaminga. See,
Search it
oh,
up.
actually, you brought me
Search
to a
it
good
up.
point. You brought me to a good
Search it
point.
up. Search it
Hey,
up. Search it
we
up.
need to start
Buddy
Kaminga
Hield
because
scored 20
Kaminga,
points. 20 points for the against the Rockets the last time.
Kaminga dropped
Elvis, I
33.
covered this. I covered this. I covered this. I remember I covered. Remember Curry had 3
Kaminga,
points.
yeah, I do remember that.
Curry had 3 points. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. We need
Curry had
Kaminga to step up.
Kaminga had 9 points.
30. Ain't no way, my. Hold on. I'm fucking fact checking this shit so bad, bro.
Go search it up. Search it up.
Kaminga.
Elvis, I covered this. I covered this. And I'm looking at the box scores right now. Last time they played, Podge had 19, Buddy Hield had 20. Buddy Hield led them. Like he led them.
Let me see this. Let me see this shit.
Because Curry had 3 points.
Fuck. Okay,
Alongside most of
that wasn't their last matchup. It was the one before that. But my point still stands.
What do you mean? I'm
Kaminga
literally
dropped.
looking at it right now.
Yeah, no, because the
April
game.
6th.
No, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't that last one, the one I was talking about with Kaminga. It was the one all the way back in December. But my point still stands.
I mean, I said the last matchup.
That's fair. That's fair. But
I mean, yeah,
going back to that,
Kaminga blocked off that game. He had what? How much he have? He had like
against who? The April matchup or the one in December?
yeah, the one in
The
the
December matchup, he dropped 33.
well, there's 2 December matchups.
I believe it was December 16th.
The one where they won.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's the one.
Kaminga had 7 points. Wait, no, 33 points.
That
Plus
was
minus
December
7.
6th. December 6th.
Yeah. I mean, we
But-
looked kind of a preview of how the Warriors look.
I mean,
against the Rockets, it's not too bad. It's because we also got to account for the trade deadline, which is when Jimmy Butler got traded. So at the point, it is 1-1. At the point of Jimmy Butler being traded,
yeah,
because before that, I think it was what was it before? Before that, it was 2-1.
yeah.
Uh,
You. No, I'm playing.
yeah, excuse me, but yeah,
You know, apologize. No, I'm playing.
but I mean, yeah, but Rockets, Warriors, gonna be a very interesting matchup.
I think it goes to a
Uh,
game 5, game 6, maybe, but I think we
I feel
handle
like a
it.
game 6 is where it's gonna go. I feel like a game 6 is definitely where it's gonna go.
I think there's a higher
I
chance
think,
that series goes to a game 6 than the Celtics and Magic one.
oh yeah, for sure. I think, I mean that's because just the Rockets are a good team when they do perform. I mean both teams are good when they do perform. So like
Yeah,
it's a matter of who could shut down one person, or not one person, but who could shut down like and disrupt their offense, because you can't really shut down somebody's offense, but you
it's
could
just
definitely slow down a lot. You could slow them down and make them struggle and work for it.
yeah. I mean, it comes down to
It's a game of
adjustments.
basketball.
Like if we go off the last matchup, right? You keep Steph down to 3 points. Um, you gonna need other people. Excuse me, man. All right, these drinks got so much carbs in them, but you got Steph logging down with just 3 points, so you're gonna need other people to step up. Jimmy being one of them, Draymond being the other. Pods, Pods. He didn't. It wasn't terrible for him for sure. I mean, he definitely was like in terms of shooting this last game, definitely not his best, but he showed up in other areas for sure, getting those good blocks. And honestly, I give him the benefit of the doubt because I feel like that call he got was just it was just absurd. I think that was just Adam Silver making the call saying, "Hey, we got to get Jaw to make the playoffs." But I think if Pod shows up anywhere in terms of his shooting game, if we have Draymond score a little couple threes with his backpack shooting form, yes sir.
I mean,
And
he just don't jump. He just don't jump when he shoots.
yeah, and if Buddy Hugh can at least hit like one or two threes or give us a performance like he did like the last matchup, then we'll be good. But that's the thing is Buddy Hield has been so much on a roller coaster, man. It's
Oh yeah,
like,
he's very streaky for sure. He's very streaky when it comes to
and that's been the biggest
uh
frustration as a Warriors
shooting.
fan, I think.
Because you guys see it, you see him, you're like, yeah, and then sometimes you're like, what the fuck is he doing? Like I feel like
He's on the
he
both
needs
opposites, you know?
he's sometimes he does a little bit too much.
He definitely tries
Just
at
from what
times.
I can see, from what I could see, sometimes I'll be watching that shit. I'm like, what the fuck is Buddy Hield doing? Like, you normally don't see him do that. He's normally like like not normally, but his role is to be just another person who could shoot, a catch and shoot type of guy when the Warriors find him. You know,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But anyways, I think we've been yapping about this the preview matchup a little bit too much. Let's close things out with previewing tonight's matchups. First, we got the Bulls and the Heat being matchup 1. CJ, who do you got?
this one is definitely a coin toss. Uh, just because the Heat, they're not what they used to be. You know, they're not what they used to be. You need Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero to kind of go off in this game because Chicago's looking. The last couple of games they locked in. They're doing their thing.
Yes,
So like
sir.
it's kind of hard to say who's gonna win this game. Uh,
Personally, I'm with you on
I
that, but
think Bulls.
I was gonna say, bro, I'm with you
I
on
take the
that.
Bulls.
Yeah, it's just hard because kind of like you were saying, the Bulls are pretty hot right now, and you got to give hats off to them because they've exceeded all expectations. And the Heat, I should say, have been kind of going downwards. Like they haven't been bad, but I don't see them going past the play-in, you know? So for that, give me the Bulls. Give
Yeah,
me.
I'd take the Bulls.
You think this is gonna be a close game, or do you think the Bulls gonna have a sizable
Oh no,
lead?
yeah, this is gonna be a close game. Probably like max 10 point lead,
Yeah,
but
I think
not
like
a huge lead like 20 points, like 20 to 50 points is
I think for like a
maybe
score,
15 points. I think maybe I'll push you to 15 points, but at 20 points, I don't think it's gonna get there.
I think this could go anywhere from like the hundreds, like like a 107 to like a 102, like as the final score, like a 106 to like a 97. Obviously
I
giving the
think
edge
I
to the Bulls.
think I think it's gonna be like 114 to like 105 or something, some shit like that.
Yeah, that's fair. But
Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna go to be.
for sure, man. Now leading up into this next matchup, we got Sacramento Kings versus the Dallas Mavericks. Who you got in this one?
I got Dallas.
Yeah. Um,
I think I got Dallas on this one. They Zach do got firepower, but it's as in the as a matter of fact, can they perform? Can they perform with, uh you know can they present that firepower? I mean, you look at their roster, it looks nice, right?
yeah, but I feel like
Like
they've been shaky. That's the thing. And so has Dallas, to be fair, but
yeah.
you do have to account they do have Anthony Davis back. And for that reason alone, I give the Mavs the edge.
Yeah.
It is interesting
I mean,
though. Both of these teams fired their head coach. So they don't have a head coach. Like they have an interim head coach.
I mean, also you can't, I mean, if you look
Oh
at
no
the
no no.
stats,
Not the
Valanciunas,
Mavs. The Mavs, they have fucking Jason Kidd. What am I saying?
yeah, they do. Uh,
Shout out Jason
but
Kidd, bro.
Valanciunas he's been making play-ins.
Yeah. I mean if AD can stay healthy, stay in this game the whole time, give me the Mavs for sure. And then, kind of going back to what we were saying before, if that means that the Mavs and the Grizzlies match up, I do love the Mavs in that matchup.
Oh yeah. Because what is Sabonis still playing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
got DeRozan, Levine, Sabonis.
Sabonis.
Theoretically, feel like they could have the edge, but I just don't see it happening. I feel like this one I could give a 10-point lead to the Mavs. Maybe like a 110 to 100, 112 to 102 is my final score prediction for this game.
I'm gonna say like 118, 114. Okay. Close game. Coming
Not
down
bad.
to the wire.
Yeah.
Probably 80 is gonna have to hit like two free throws at the end, as always. It's 80.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Just hopefully he doesn't get injured. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. So then, I mean, don't get injured. Just
Bro, just don't get
literally
injured,
don't get
yeah.
injured, and you could win. I mean, because AD's defense is also like it impacts their game because the Kings got a lot of they can shoot, but they don't have consistent like 3-point shooters. Not consistent, like they don't have like that go to guy. I mean, they got like what they got that Murray dude.
Yeah. But outside of him, it's like,
I mean, you got Zach Levine, but then like sometimes he could get streaky. DeRozan, not really known for his 3-point shot. He could shoot the three ball, but he's not really known for that.
yeah,
So
his play
when it
style is
comes to
different.
attacking the basket, you got to go through AD and try to get him out of that paint.
No, for sure.
So
I'm with you on that. So I like our predictions, man. I like the Mavs finishing in on
And
this.
then for the
And
Mavs, you or for the Kings, you got to stop AD from taking control in the paint, getting comfortable in the paint. You kind of got to disrupt him a little bit. Uh, get him off his rhythm before he can get into rhythm. Because once he gets into rhythm, he'll do some like dumbass shit like face up mid range, post you back down, fucking post fade, like stupid shit like that.
yeah,
Shit that he does. So it's definitely gonna be a matchup between the Kings and Mavs. So
for sure, man. But with all that being said, I think we covered everything, bro. I think
sir.
this pretty much wraps up the Invid preview matchup that we got for y'all. So, hey y'all, if y'all enjoyed this, ask y'all leave a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and let us know your thoughts, man. Who do you guys have, winning these play-in matchups? And how do you guys feel about our preview, matchups in terms of like playoffs? Obviously we talked about Golden State versus the Rockets. We talked about the Magic and the Celtics matchup. Um, how long do you see those series playing out? And also, what are your guys' final score predictions? Love to hear all of that down in the comments below. And with that being said, I'm EJ. To my right is my co-host CJ, coming at you with Dudes Talk Sports. Signing out, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.